1.
Boom! And welcome to the Big Honker Podcast. This is Did You Know?
Nope, today. We're going to do April 30th.
Oh, today.
We'll get to Did You Know here in a minute.
This all up. Today, April 30th, and I'm wearing the same shirt.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Just knocking a lot of them out. So April 30th is mine. A couple big things happened today. George Washington gives the first presidential inaugural address.
Okay.
Hitler dies.
Okay.
Well, kind of. We don't know that for sure. And then I'll get to my birthday. But anyway, so yeah, George Washington, 1789, gives his first. He's sworn in as the first American president and delivers the first inaugural speech at Federal Hall in New York City. Elements of the ceremony set tradition. Presidential inaugurations have deviated very little in 2 centuries since the first presidential inauguration. In front of only about 10,000 spectators, Washington appeared in a plain brown broadcloth suit holding a ceremonial army sword. At 6'3", Washington presented an impressive and solemn figure as he took oath of office, standing on the second balcony of Federal Hall. With Vice President John Adams standing by his side, Washington repeated the words prompted by Chancellor Robert R. Livingston, kissed the Bible, and then went to the Senate chamber to deliver his inaugural address. Observers noted that Washington appeared as if he would have preferred facing firing cannons and muskets rather than take the political helm of the country. He fidgeted with his hands with hands in one pocket and spoke in a low, sometimes inaudible voice while he reiterated the mixed emotions of anxiety and honor he felt in assuming the role as president. For the most part, his address consisted of generalities, but he directly addressed the need for a strong Constitution and Bill of Rights and frequently emphasized the public good. He told the House of Representatives that he declined to be paid beyond such an actual expenditure as the public good may be thought to require. In defense to power of Congress, Washington promised to give way to my entire confidence in your discernment and pursuit of public good. After delivering his address, Washington walked up Broadway with a group of legislators and local political leaders to pray at St. Paul's Chapel. Later, he made a humble and astute observation that his presidency and the nation itself was a big experiment.
Hell of a man.
Yep. So, Washington is known to have thrown one of the biggest parties in political history. At the Constitutional Convention in 1787, wrapped up in Philadelphia, a famous event took place, a massive farewell party at the City Tavern where founding fathers supposedly racked up an enormous bar tab, 54 bottles of Madeira wine, 60 bottles of claret, 22 bottles.
What kind of wine?
Madeira?
No, Madeira.
Madeira?
That's what I didn't know what. Yeah, Madeira wine.
Madeira wine?
I don't know what it is, but that's the name of it.
60 bottles of claret, 22 bottles of porter, 8 bottles of hard cider, 12 bottles of beer, 7 bowls of alcoholic punch, and there were only about 55 people in attendance.
Jesus.
So,
There were some partiers, boy. Woo! There were some drunks.
yeah. So I did not know what the Constitutional Convention was. Do you know what the Constitutional Convention is?
You can choose who your presidential candidate is by your constituents there at the convention. Is that right?
Well, so basically, the U.S. was running under the Articles of Confederation, which made the national government weak. There was no president. There was no real way of collecting taxes and very little ability to settle disputes between the states. A lot of leaders, including Washington, Madison, and Hamilton, thought this system was falling apart. The country was broke, divided, and vulnerable, so they called the Constitutional Convention to fix the Articles. But pretty quickly, they decided to scrap the Articles altogether and write the new Constitution. Washington presided over the convention. James Madison, often called the father of the Constitution, took detailed notes and came away with the plan for the new system. Big fights were over how big states versus small states would be represented, and over slavery. They created a system with a strong federal government, 3 branches: executive, legislative, judicial and the checks and
I
balances.
think the guys were geniuses the way they did the Senate and the Congress.
They figured it out.
I mean, every state has got 2 senators, so everybody's got equal representation there. But you go by population for the. I think hell of a job by them.
After months of secret debate, they signed the Constitution in September 17th, 1787.
A lot of them guys were killed that did it too.
Yep. So, George Washington, hell of a man. Also, on this day, we have the very controversial coming out episode of Ellen.
Big shocker there.
April 30th, 1997, in a widely publicized episode of ABC sitcom Ellen, she comes out that she is gay. The show peaked. An estimated 42 million viewers watched this hour-long episode, which featured cameo appearances by Laura Dern as the woman Ellen falls for, Oprah Winfrey as the therapist to whom she makes her revelation, Katie Lang, don't know who that is.
She was a singer. Cut a song with Willie Nelson, I think.
Demi Moore, Billy Bob Thornton, and Dwight Yoakam. Later episodes of Ellen failed to hold the audience, however, and by the end of 1997, the show was canceled due to low ratings. Ellen went on to become Ellen. So, anyway, this was her big moment here in television history. All right, so now moving on to my guy that died today. It is Hitler. This is what history tells us. On April 30th, with Nazi Germany collapsing, Soviet forces encircled in Berlin, and Allied forces were closing in from the west. Hitler was holed up in the Fuhrer bunker, an underground bunker beneath the Reich Chancellery in Berlin. On April 30th, 1945, Hitler committed suicide by shooting himself in the head while simultaneously biting down on the cyanide capsule. I don't know why you do both.
Did he kill himself anyways? You just said last week he was in Argentina.
His longtime companion, Eva Braun, whom he married the day before, also took a cyanide pill and died alongside of him. Hitler had ordered that his body be burned to avoid public display and desecration. His staff carried his and Eva Braun's corpses outside, doused them in petrol, and set them afire. Several troops found the remains, but they were heavily burned. Later Soviet autopsies claimed to have positively identified him through dental records. Now, after World War II, many Nazis did flee to South America, especially Argentina, Brazil, and Chile, through secret networks known as rat lines. Stalin said that Hitler might have escaped, partly because Soviet reports were inconsistent. Declassified FBI documents showed the U.S. government received tips that Hitler might have fled to Argentina. The Gray Wolf Theory in 2011, a book called The Gray Wolf, The Escape of Adolf Hitler by Simon Dunstan and Gerald Williams, argues Hitler fled to Argentina, lived in hiding, and died in 1962. They cite alleged witnesses' testimonies and secret Nazi colonies in Patagonia. In 2009, a DNA analysis of a skull fragment long believed to be Hitler's, held by the Russians, indicated it belonged to a woman under 40, casting doubt on the previous Soviet claims. However, dental remains are still generally accepted by historians as genuine. I don't know. Argentina has released some stuff in the last couple of weeks with the JFK, about the time that we did the JFK thing, that suggests he might have been there. So I don't know. Historians still believe he committed suicide today in 1945. We'll never know.
One of the histories of the world.
Yep. My guy that was born today, Mr. Travis Scott.
Like the guy that's the devil worshiper that's dates Kardashian, that's a singer.
It's him. I don't know if he's a devil worshiper.
Yeah, I shouldn't say that. Let me take that back. I don't know the guy.
Never been to a
concert.
No, a seance with him or anything. Never been to church with him.
Never played a Ouija board with him.
He was born April 30th, 1991 in Houston. From the ages of 1 through 6 years old, he lived with his grandmother in South Park, Houston. The neighborhood was notorious for crime and had an impact on young. So his name's not Travis Scott. It's Jacques Berman Webster III. So living there, growing up, my grandma stayed in the hood. So I seen some random crazy shit. I saw mad bums, crazy spazzed out motherfuckers. I saw people looking weird, hungry, and grimy. I was always like, I got to get the fuck out of this shit. It gave me my edge. It made me who I am right now. Webster moved to Missouri City, a middle-class suburban area bordering southwest Houston, to live with his parents. Why he wasn't with them, I don't know why. His mother worked for Apple, and his father ran his own business. Webster's father is also a soul musician, and his grandmother was a jazz composer. So he gets his start on MySpace. He releases his first EP, and it goes up on MySpace, and then that's kind of how he gets his start. He's been on and off again with Kylie Jenner.
I knew that.
And then I think they finally broke up in 2023. So that's my fella.
Yeah, I don't listen to Trav, so I don't know much about him.
He's done a lot. Like
Kids young people love him.
The Fortnite did a thing with him, which is a video game. Let me see here. Yeah, he had a Fortnite collaboration, McDonald's collaboration. Scott collaborated with McDonald's to launch a limited edition meal that was introduced in participating McDonald's restaurants in North America, named the Travis Scott, a variation of their Quarter Pounder with cheese. The partnership marked the first nationally distributed celebrity-endorsed McDonald's meal in the chain's history, and a first celebrity meal since 1992, when McDonald's launched the McJordan burger with Michael Jordan.
You know, my thing with Travis Scott is I don't listen to that music, and so I just listen to what people say, the devil stuff. But I went through two of those when I was a kid. First, it was Kiss in the 70s. I remember a girl in my elementary school in like third grade was going to see him in concert, and all the other parents couldn't believe her parents were taking her to see
Devil music.
Yeah, Satan's Army or whatever they call it. Then it was Motley Crue, Shout at the Devil.
Yep.
So I heard all about that. And so it's always, but I like Motley Crue. So
Marilyn Manson.
And I like Kiss. I never listened to Marilyn Manson, but I listened to Kiss and I listened to Motley Crue. So Travis Scott, it's just age. People don't like Elvis the Pelvis.
That's right.
So
you know, be shaking them hips.
I have no idea. I will say this much: my grandkids, I hope, do not listen to rap music, because the lyrics and stuff is absolutely atrocious in that stuff nowadays.
Nothing new, Jeff.
No, but yeah, it is. It's gotten really bad.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
No. That's just an old talking head right there. You listen to any rap music, they've done the same thing since the beginning of rap music.
Luther Campbell didn't.
They
2 Live Crew.
They bang them hoes. They sling that dope.
I don't remember 2 Live Crew slinging dope.
What about
hoe banging? No.
What about NWA?
They're different though. I like Ice Cube.
Oh yeah, they're different. They're different because they're your generation. Yeah,
I liked them. I'm not a big Dr. Dre fan. He's a genius, but
Eminem's the same thing.
I never got
all the same.
He was after me.
Rap music has not changed at all. He did a collaboration with PlayStation also in 2020. Scott announced he was joining the PlayStation team as a strategic creative partner to promote the PlayStation 5 console. I'm telling you, PlayStation, McDonald's, Fortnite.
Oh, he's banking.
I also do not listen to much Travis Scott. He's got 1 or 2 songs maybe that I enjoy that I'll listen to when I'm working out. But beyond that, I don't get it. But he's done very well for himself. Maybe it's because he was attached to Kylie Jenner.
Do you? Is there any music you do not want your boys listening to? Because y'all don't let them watch some movies.
Here's the deal. Yes, but I know that they're going to.
That's not an answer.
Yeah, it is an answer. I mean,
I said, is there any music right now that you don't want them listening to? Because you don't
right now at their age.
Yes,
there's stuff that we're going to keep away from them. But I know that as they progress and go into adolescence and puberty, they're going to find these things just the same way that I did, the same way that you did, the same way that Ron did. They're going to find that cutting edge music, and they're going to listen to it, and I'm going to hate it.
I don't remember ever telling you guys you can't listen to that. First of all, you wouldn't listen to me anyways. You would have listened to it on your own. So I didn't. It's kind of like boys start taking longer showers. You know what's going on. You just don't say nothing. But music-wise, I was never, ever going to say you can't listen to that or this. I'm just asking. Because y'all have things y'all won't let them
at 10
watch.
at 10 and 6, yes, we are going to dictate what they can and cannot listen to.
Because Reese is going to be he loves music.
He does, but I think he kind of, and like right now he's 10, so he likes the same kind of music that I do.
Thank God.
And I like a lot of music. I like a wide spectrum of shit. I like country. I like old stuff. I like new stuff. I like rap. I like rock. So I feel like I got a pretty well-rounded sense of music. So if he takes that, then I'll be fine with it. But yes, at 10 years old, he's not going to listen to Eminem. He's not going to listen to Travis Scott. But as he gets to 13, 14, 15, 16, how much control do I really have?
You don't. You pretend you do, but you don't.
Yep.
Especially in today's phones and everything else.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the thing. Like, when I was his age, you had to buy a CD. And then it progressed to iPods. So you had to download the music. And like now, you can basically stream anything. You got no control over what your kid's listening to on the school bus. Like he can go to YouTube and type it in. And just listen to it there. So like back in my day, like if I want to listen to Metallica, I had to get the Metallica CD. So there was a little bit of, no, you're not buying that at your age. But now, you get on a bus and you go on a road trip and listen to whatever you want, streaming wise.
What? I'm trying to think how to word this here. What age? How old will your boys be when they get phones? You think? Reality.
When they start going on the bus.
So in 7th grade.
Probably. Well,
that's when you first.
We play in the 6th grade here, so probably sixth grade. 7th grade.
So in 2 years, he's going to have a cell phone.
Probably.
That's when their music and stuff. You really just.
Yeah.
Well, boys, you're getting old on me. I love it, but I hate it. But I can tell you one thing right now. Youth sports is a whole lot better when they get older.
Oh, yeah.
That herding cats under 8 years old is not no good.
Nope.
I do like Jameson and them playing.
3 strikes, you're out.
I like that. I like that. The game goes faster.
Mm-hmm.
And it's more competitive, so I do like that. I like it a lot more. I hate T-ball.
Yeah.
T-ball's like herding cats. All right. Thank y'all for listening to us. God bless y'all. Have a great week. We named the winner for the NFL draft pick contest we did. Matt Martini, you won. Congratulations. Holler at me. I sent a deal out on our private Facebook page. If you're not a member, we've got a private group page called the Big Honker Podcast page. You got to answer a couple questions to be a member. We do giveaways, a lot of stuff on there. You need to join that and be a member of it. Thanks. God bless you. Peace out. Bye.
Bye-bye.